Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a new season of Ultimate Racing League's Manufacturers Series, which is taking part every Saturday night. And I am your host, Panic at the Tesco. I am going to be bringing you some commentary from the League 2 division in our two-tier championship. We have a League 1, we have a League 2, and a little about this championship before we start the race. So, it's a manufacturer's championship where you get to pick a manufacturer to represent. You can pick anyone that you want, and you have to then drive two cars from that manufacturer, a Gr4 car and a Gr3 car. You can't change manufacturer throughout the season, and there isn't really a manufacturer's title at stake because everybody here has a different manufacturer. There are a few duplicates up and down the grid, but this is a individual championship, but it's themed around the manufacturer that you're driving for. Each Saturday, there's going to be two races. The first race will take part in the Gr4 cars, which are the slower of the two, and then we move on to the feature race, which will be in the Gr3 cars. They're both short races at about 25 minutes each. We do have a qualifying beforehand, which unfortunately I won't be able to bring you any of the highlights of, but I will go through the grid at the beginning of each race. The second race is a reverse grid race, so whoever wins the first race will have to start last and so on. And the last thing to go over before we start is the tyres. So in both races, you have to use 2 compounds of tyre, meaning there's a mandatory pit stop. There's enough fuel, certainly, to do the first race without refueling. The second race will be a bit trickier. We'll see that later on. In the first race, the choices are the medium or the soft tyres. And in general, I'm guessing both sets of tyres are going to last as many laps as you need. So it's really a free choice of when you pit, although you do have to do at least 2 laps on each compound. Since we're at Le Mans here and it's a very short race, there's not a huge amount of strategic variation, but as we go to some other tracks that have more laps, this will really come into play. For the second race, it's a choice between mediums and hard tyres. The softs go in the bin. We won't actually get a chance to see those magnificent Group 3 cars on soft tyres this season, but you'll find that they are quite a handful, especially on the hard tyres. So we've got that to look forward to. Anyway, one last thing before we start. We need to go up and down the grid and introduce our League 2 contenders. So, taking the first pole position of the season is Itsumi Dan, driving in his team Itsumi. I'm going to give all of these teams fantasy backgrounds and names wherever I can. You'll see. Let's have a bit of fun with this. So we have Itsumi Dan here in a car that actually has number 22 on the back and number 30 on the front, so I'm not sure what his driver number is there, but we'll see as we go on. Following him in second place is Ninky. Oh, actually, let me just say, so Itsumi Dan starting on the mediums. So is Ninky. Ninky driving the Penske Porsche, and behind Ninky is Robert Racing in his Robert Racing Ferrari. Also, he's starting on softs. Sorry, I missed that. He's starting on softs. Back on the mediums in fourth place is Tidders in his privately entered Jaguar. Moving back into fifth place, we have a name that is very long, but I'm just going to call him Frank. I'm sure his name is Frank, so let's call him that. And he is driving for Nissan this season in the Nissan GTR, also a privately entered car, car number 25 there, on the mediums. On the racing softs, we have got Carlsberg, who is not driving a Carlsberg-themed car, but he is rather confusingly driving a Tic Tac-themed car. I absolutely love this car, by the way. It's fantastic. We'll get to see more of these cars as we go around, by the way. I'm not able to do a side view to show you the side of the cars. I'm sorry about that. We can do that. There we go. So let's just do this. The camera angles on Gran Turismo are very temperamental, you can see. So we've got the racing softs there. Let's catch up a little bit now. So Rufus, our host, and also the guy who is in charge of the whole championship for the manufacturers season. Alex is in charge of URL, and Rufus has been given this responsibility of running the manufacturers series. Big shout out to Rufus. He is on the Racing Softs driving for Porsche in his privately entered Porsche. On the softs, I believe, yes. On the mediums, we then move back to the Saint, also driving a Porsche. And his Porsche is, if I can get a good camera angle of it, which we can't, thanks Gran Turismo, it is, I'm informed, Logitech themed. So he's in a Logitech entered Porsche Cayman S on the mediums. Back down to 9th place we go with Hoyland, or is it? Yes, it's Hoyland on the mediums. Nice to see some variety in nationalities. We are now a global championship in this, which is again a privately entered Lexus with racing mediums in 9th place. Last few on the grid, so we've got Osnard, who's starting on the racing softs in this rather fetching Mobil 1 BMW M-Power M4. I was about to call it an M3, it's an M4, in car number 56 on the softs. We've got car number 45 on the softs, Keyboard Captain, in his rather sponsorless black Ferrari. Maybe as the season goes on, he and talking of sponsors, who can miss this Makita-themed Volkswagen Golf of Hawkeye? What a brilliant livery. I really like this one. Car number 58 here, starting on the mediums. And in last place, bringing up the rear, is another confusing livery because this is not Carlsberg, but the car is Carlsberg-themed, and that is Sid the Sloth. He likes to confuse the commentators here because we have a Carlsberg on the grid, but his car isn't Carlsberg-themed, and the person who isn't Carlsberg is Carlsberg-themed, and he'll be bringing up the rear on the mediums. So, with all that out of the way, we can finally start the race. Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines. 3, 2, 1. And we are go, go, go across the line as Dan leads the way from pole position. And we've crossed the line and we are underway. So starting on the medium tyres, being closely followed there by Ninky. I'm just going to quickly get my notes open here because I actually have a few notes telling me what's going on. Let's go back down to Robert Racing, and we can see Robert's made a move and he's made a bit of a hash of it. He's taken someone out there. Who is that that's got taken out? Let's pause and have a look. So we can see a car off backwards and facing in the gravel, and it is Ninky. Ninky's off to a terrible start. Unfortunately, he's been taken out, but Rob has done the right thing there and waited. He's just waiting there for Ninky to go back past. So let's go back up the field and see if we've got any battles going on. We have. We've got Osnard, who is having a look at the Saint, and he's held it round the outside there on those racing softs, the better tyre than the racing mediums. We've got our first penalty, which is going to Rufus. I dare say we'll see quite a lot of penalties as we go up and down. Let's see if anyone is attacking now, because the slipstream here at Le Mans is brutal and it's very hard to pull away from anyone, but Dan has done just that. Let's go on board here with Frank and see what he can see ahead. He's not close to the car in front and he's got a nice little bit of a gap back to Carlsberg. Let's see if anyone's battling. Yes, we've got a battle going down into the first chicane. Rufus having to defend. He's defending himself there from Keyboard Captain, who's off to a great start on those racing softs, putting them to good effect, getting his way up into 6th place. A very good first lap so far for Captain Keyboard. Let's go back up to the front, and Dan has stretched his legs. He's pulling away ever so slightly from Tidders. And let's just see who else we've got. So we have got a battle here between Carlsberg and Frank. Carlsberg has caught up in the slipstream. He pulls back ever so slightly there. But is he going to try and get a run down into the Mulsanne hairpin? Let's see. So he has got a run. He's right on him. Let's see what's happening. He's going to get him. I think he should be able to get him quite easily there. So we go off board. And there he goes. He's up into third place. But Frank is having a go back. He's having a go back and he's hit. He's hit him. And he's taken himself out. That was really self-inflicted, I think. Let's play that back and let's watch that back from Frank's point of view here. He's been overtaken in the slipstream. He's held it round the outside and they've just come together, I'm afraid. I'm not sure whose fault that is. I'd say that's about a 50-50, really. But unfortunately, Frank has paid the price for that. So he's got a lot of work to do now, but at least he's got the speed. Meanwhile, Robert Racing has fought his way back up into 10th place. He's got the Saint in his sights. Can he get past the Saint going into Indianapolis? We will find out in a moment. Let's follow them along. This is a very long straight. There are a lot of long straights which give me a chance to catch my breath and have a sip of tea. So he's alongside and he's got the position, it looks like. Let's follow along, and the Saint has got himself a penalty, unfortunately. Oh, and he's very wide here, and he's pinched the apex quite a bit. We've got a car off in front, we've got Ninky off, which means that Robert is going to say thank you, man, and take another place. These two probably no love lost for each other after the first turn, and Rob is back in front. We've got a battle going on here. Rufus catching Keyboard, catching Holland. Let's just see if there's anyone else. So even Stevens up at the front, although Tidders has now got a penalty. I am going to lose track of how many people get penalties. I won't go back and show you where everyone got them because there's just so many of them. And Keyboard is catching up to the back of Holland here. Hoyland, sorry. I won't call you Holland ever again. I'm sorry, I know that's a country. I've literally got notes here where it's transcribed itself as Holland, so apologies for that. But Keyboard Captain is still in the hunt there, and we can see behind fairly close as well. Some big gaps up at the front, so let's just focus on this action down in the midfield here and make sure that we don't miss any of this action. So let's follow Ninky and see if we can see anything happening in front. He's crossed the two chicanes, and Osnard getting all out of shape up in front, but he's holding it together. And I've just noticed, we're just going to pause, we have lost our leader. Something has happened. We had Dan in the lead. Let's see. Is he just going to disappear? Because it does appear that he has been banished to the Shadow Realm. So he crosses the line and his engine just fails. It just packs in. So it looks like his internet might have just conked out of it on him. Really unlucky to lose that from the lead. But it does give us now a chance to catch our breath, and it gives Tidders a chance to try and bring home his first win of the season in the first race of the season. I'm sure he will want that. So we've got Osnard now following against Robert. Robert has snuck his way past Osnard. Possibly we saw Osnard getting a bit wide coming out of the final turn, so that might be the reason. I do try to capture everything, but I've got to have eyes everywhere. And we've got Keyboard is having go again at Hoyland. I said it right this time. As we go down into Tete Rouge at the beginning of the Onondière Strait. I think I said that correctly. Onondière. It's not the Mulsanne Strait as people call it. Mulsanne is the village at the end of the strait. So we've got Keyboard Captain. He is in that tow right now, and I am using the onboard camera a lot, so I'm going to just go from his driver's eye view as he gets very familiar with the Lexus logo on the back of that car, and he has pulled past, and side by side he should be able to claim this apex now. Let's cut back and see it from Hoyland's point of view. Hoyland does have a penalty, so he has to really try his best now not to get any more penalties and stay with him. A little bit hesitant there on the exit, maybe dropping a little bit of time, but keeping it within the lines, that's the important thing here. Well, I say he kept it within the lines. He must have gone over the line at some point there, because he's picked up another half a second penalty. Very easy to do here around Le Mans. Up in front, we've got Tidders with a penalty, but a big gap back to Carlsberg. That gap will come down when he has to serve that. And we've got Keyboard Captain now on his own in third place. Oh, I say on his own, no, he's got Hoyland right behind him, of course, because he only just passed him. Let's see the rest of the action down here, and I'm going to just consult my notes just to see if there's anything I have missed. So it's all kicking off up and down the grid here. Lots of penalties up and down. We've got Hoyland continuing to pressure keyboard captain. And let's go on board with Rufus just for a little while. Let's see how he handles the Mulsanne hairpin. Now it is called that. He's braking at the kink, which is exactly where you brake. He's maybe braking a little bit early because he had to pick up the throttle before the corner, but otherwise very neat and tidy. He will hopefully be trying to get into that draft of Robert, but then he's got a penalty to serve which will slow him down. I can see two cars close together, and it's Hoyland still on the back of keyboard captain, but not for long because of that penalty. Tidders again stretching his lead a little bit. It'll be interesting to see how close these are together once they take the penalty. So let's stay on board now with Carlsberg and see how close is he going to get. We'll go to the bonnet camera and let's see him take Arnage. Nice and steady there through there, and no wheel spin whatsoever. Well taken. And here we're going to see that gap to Tidders just come down. Tidders has taken the penalty. He's gaining. I think it's going to be very close whether he's going to get him into the Porsche curves. Let's switch to the off-board camera. Let's get our cameraman out, and they are nose to tail going through the Porsche S's. Tidders keeping it tidy, just cutting across there, just trying to regain that racing line, but they are very close together. This is a hair's width between them. Any mistake from Tidders on the exit here, and I'm sure Carlsberg will pounce, but Carlsberg was in tight there, and he's going to have a slow exit. That's going to give Tidders some breathing space. Let's see what else is happening up and down. So keyboard captain is holding off Robert, and we've got a very wide Hoyland there. That is definitely going to be a penalty, I would say, and yes, there it comes. And Osnard has had a very good lap. As we see a car go flying past, that will have been Rufus, I think, going into the pit lane. And Robert Racing in the background has also made her pit stop. So we are starting to see some cars come in. Robert's actually getting rid of the soft tyres nice and early, which is a bit surprising. And we see here, so it wasn't Rufus going into the pit lane, it would have been one of the other Porsches. There are a few Porsches here, so Rufus, it must have been Ninky. Rufus pushing, but he's got past Osnard there. How's he going to be through the Dunlop S? Nice and tidy, and he's starting to pull away already. He will be aiming to break that toe before the back straight. Let's see what we've got from keyboard captain. Has Carlsberg managed to catch Tidders? He has. So Carlsberg still staying with Tidders. I get a feeling that these two are going to be fighting each other all the way through this race. As we are already coming up to the halfway stage of this race. It really has flown, and we've got Carlsberg keeping Tidders company. Wow, that cameraman must have very fast legs to keep up with Carlsberg when they're doing 150 miles an hour. And let's see if there's any other close action. Yes, there is. So we've got Osnard having a run on Rufus. So Rufus didn't manage to break that toe, like we said. So the number 56 there of Osnard in that Mobil 1 BMW, really looking to sweep across here. He was too far back to make a lunge. And we can see the Nissan GTR getting a bit out of shape in the background there, which is surprising because it's a four-wheel drive. Four-wheel drive is allowed in Group 4, whereas in Group 3 they are all rear-wheel drive. And Osnard now tucking himself in, and maybe he's going to have another run here. We'll follow from off-board. He's just a bit too far behind, I think, to make a lunge down here, but let's see if he thinks about it. He's just not catching in that toe, and no, nothing doing there. The Porsche having too much top speed, even with the draft. And it could just be that Rufus, yes, is indeed just about in the toe of Hoyland in front. Meanwhile, Carlsberg has taken Tidders, so let's go back and see the change of lead. Apologies, I missed it. So it is coming up. Oh, and it's right there. So Carlsberg getting a better exit out of the first chicane, and then it's just a very simple move down the straight here, side by side. He's got the overlap, and even if the Lexus doesn't have the top speed of the Jaguar, it doesn't really matter at this stage because he can just claim that apex. He can just brake whenever he chooses and dictate when he turns into the second chicane. Let's watch if he does that. He actually brakes a lot later as well, so much later on the brakes, and Tidders will now be trying to get back in that tow and see if he can repay the favour. Interestingly, Carlsberg on the soft tyres and Tidders on the mediums, so Tidders won't be able to get as much out of his car. He's done very well to keep on to the lead as long as he has against a stock-clad car. Keyboard with another 2 penalties there for 1 second total, and another penalty going to Hoyland as well. As I said, I can't keep up with these penalties. It's a penalty shootout, is it not? So we got Osnad following Rufus. Let's just see what's happening down at the back of the grid, shall we? Because we haven't really paid much attention. We've got a recovering Robert. We've got Sid getting very vicious. See what I did there? Into the chicane, and he's got a horrible penalty there. We've got Ninky, who has pitted, which is why he's down the order, as has Hawkeye. So Hawkeye will be taking that Volkswagen Golf to the end on the softs. And then we've got Saint right on his backside, giving him a good race, even though they're currently in last. There's everything to play for because most of the cars in front still have to pit. So these guys could be solidly midfield when everyone else is pitted. So let's see. And let's just follow along because it looks like Saint has got his way past Hawkeye there. He has, and braking down. Is he going to make the apex? He does, and nicely done. But now we've got Hawkeye hoping to repay the favour. That is exactly what you do, is you just let the other guy go through and then immediately repay the favour. And short shifting as well. I do wonder if the Volkswagen prefers short shifts. We'll find out. He's gonna, yeah, he's short shifting. So some of the cars do prefer short shifts. And we'll go back up to the front where Tidders has actually got back past Carlsberg. So blink and you'll miss it. Let's watch that. So we've got, oh god, I've got to go back quite far here. So it is just a case of getting the draft back. I did say it, didn't I? That once someone passes you, just keep calm and get a good exit, and you should be able to send a pass with the slipstream. This is just something that happens at Le Mans, unfortunately. So as we go down into Indianapolis corner, so Carlsberg looking to take the position back straight away, and I don't blame him. He is on the soft tyres. He will have more grip, and he's staying with Tidders. He was tempted there, wasn't he? He was tempted to send a dive, but it's not really a big braking move into Arnage. So now they're heading nose to tail. I said these two will be challenging each other all race. Nose to tail down into the Porsche curves. He thinks about it there, but there's nothing doing. He's not really got an overlap, but can he get the overlap going into the first of the Porsche curves? I think he can. So it looks like he has. He's got the inside. He's got the inside. And we're just going to lose them from view there. But Tidders has managed to just about hold on. It's a shame that they just left the frame of the camera just there. But Tidders holding on. Oh, he's out of shape though. He's out of shape. So let's just go on board now with Carlsberg. He should be able to hook underneath and get a good exit here. But he's gone deep. He did that last lap, didn't he? He seems to be struggling with that corner. It's a very tricky corner because it's off camber and you need to be braking and turning at the same time. Very tricky corner. I think they are both going to have to pit now because they need to run 2 laps on the opposite set of tyres. So Tidders will be going onto the softs and Carlsberg onto the mediums. They both enter the pit lane. Let's see what's happening up and down the grid. We've got Osnard having a great battle here with Hoyland. But Hoyland was pulling away slightly into the pit lane entry. We've got a bit of a traffic jam in the pit lane entry. but they are all now safely into the pits. Let's follow from Robert Racing's perspective. We'll go to the roof camera on his Ferrari 458 and let's see how many of these people he can pick off on the pit stop. He is recovering after that first lap collision. So let's see. So he goes across the chicanes nice and tidy there. That was spot on. And that was really tidy as well. Maybe a slight bobble on that second chicane, but really well driven there, Robert. And he has indeed jumped a bunch of cars here in the pit lane. He's going to come out, and there's Keyboard Captain going past him as well. He takes the podium. He is in third place on the racing mediums. Meanwhile, we've got Carlsberg versus Tidders. Oh my God, Tidders has made a mistake. He's made a huge error. He's on the mediums again. He's fitted the same tyres. Oh no. Oh, this is so unlucky, Tidders. Yes, he was on the mediums before, I'm sure of it, and he's on the mediums again. So he hasn't used the mandatory soft tyres. This, unfortunately, means an automatic 1 minute penalty. So I think that spells the end of Tidders' chances of a good result. That's really unlucky. I mean, they are still going to fight each other on track. Let's go back down the grid and see who's close together. We've got Frank coming back through the field after that, off down at the Mulsanne hairpin, and we've got Osnad running wide there, so that is going to be Frank past, and Osnad may even get a penalty for added measure. I don't see a penalty actually, so Osnad has managed to avoid the penalty, but he has lost a place. He's doing the right thing though, and he's just tucking in. No, he has got a penalty. It just didn't show it. It didn't show it above the car. Oh, I know why that is. Let me fix that 1 second for you guys, because we will continue with that on. It's just the driver names that are off. So that will show us whether they've got a penalty like that. But he is making a comeback on Frank. Is he going to get him? Is he going to get... Oh, he just pushes him wide. He just pushes him, and he's got into a spin now as well. I think really he should be giving that place back. That was very, very unclean there. And unfortunately, Frank then gets a penalty for going off the track as well. I don't agree with that penalty. The Gran Turismo penalty system is sometimes too draconian, but Osnad really does need to back off now and let him have that place. I don't know what the stewards will say about it, but I dare say the stewards might say something about that afterwards. And let's see. So Ninky under pressure here from Rufus. So Ninky pitted nice and early. Rufus stayed out, and now they are nose to tail. I'm seeing double here. I'm seeing 4 Porsches. Rufus with the penalty though. And that's actually, I'd say, my feedback. So the League 2 guys were asking, what can they do better? I think track limits is probably the place to start, because I've not seen anyone who's avoided penalties so far. I think absolutely everyone has had one, and Ninky runs deep there. That is going to give Rufus a nice, wonderful tow, but Ninky gets a penalty, I think, because he was a bit too wide on the exit. See what I mean? The track limits are draconian here, and Rufus taking advantage now, and this means that Rufus will also keep this position now, whereas before he would have overtook him in the tow and then had to give it back with the penalty. Now they've both got the same penalty. Let's see up at the front what's happening. So Tidders continues to lead Carlsberg with a decent gap, and then a big gap back to Robert Racing, who is currently on a fastest lap, by the way. We'll keep an eye on that. Keyboard Captain holding station in 4th place. And then we're back to Rufus and Ninky, as I said. So let's just see if anything else is happening. So we've got Osnad and Frank also with equal penalty. I think everyone's got a penalty here. Maybe they should just put a chicane in the track there. Nah, because they'd only cut that too. So everyone else taking identical penalties. I can see Saint in the background there with a penalty as well. And Hawkeye. So they literally all have penalties. Whatever you do, I'll do as well. That's what they're saying. But the gap's becoming a bit bigger now. We are going to follow on Ninky and Rufus here, because I think this is the closest to a battle that we have going. And they are nose to tail here through the Porsche's, both being Porsches in the Porsche's. You can't get any more Porscheception than that. And Rufus going wide, yet another penalty coming his way, I dare say. If he manages to avoid one, he's a lucky boy. He's not a lucky boy. Yes, it is very easy to run wide there on the exit of whatever that corner is called. I think that's the only one on the track that I don't know the name of. Ninky, big slide, he caught it, well caught. And he didn't just catch it, but he's maintained onto the back of Rufus. Let's see quickly, anything happening. And we have got a battle for the lead. How did I miss this? So let's follow it on. Let's just rewind. So we've got, actually I need to rewind it even further because Carlsberg has got Tidders somehow. And it looks like it happened whilst we was watching Rufus. So let's go back and catch the whole thing. Don't want to miss a moment here. So Carlsberg must have got onto Tidders. I dare say Tidders must have had a penalty there. And they've hit each other. They've hit each other, and Carlsberg goes wide, but he holds on to it. Let's watch that one more time. As Daft Punk would say, one more time. Let's go on board, because that was quite a whack there. Let's see who is responsible for the whacking there. So Carlsberg has the inside, and he was going too fast and just ran a bit wide, but look at how they've touched here. How they both managed to stay on the track is remarkable. Look at that car control. That is a catch. That is the save of the day. There's been lots of penalties, but that is a save. And not an own goal. I'll try and get as many football puns as I can. So Carlsberg in his tic-tac liveried Carlsberg machine, with Tidders now back on him. So let's go back to where we were and follow these around to the start of the lap. I'm going to take a swig of my beer. I deserve that. And yeah, there's actually a lot happening up and down the grid, but big gaps between things happening because of how long the straights are here. So I do have to think of some things to say on this track. So anyway, let's also take a look at they're both on the medium tyres, aren't they? But Tidders, let's just remember, has a 1 minute penalty for not using the soft tyres. He could still pit, but he will lose places for sure. And another good save there from Tidders, getting it Larry. Ran over our camera for good measure, so he owes us a new camera as well. We're going to follow this because these two are at each other, and I did think that they'd be at each other all race. This is what we like to see, that the young guns, the new blood coming up through URL, having a good scrap, learning their racecraft. I just want to say, if anyone watching wants to join Ultimate Racing League, check us out on Facebook. Send our Supreme Leader Alex a message and come and join us and take part in some of these races. This could be you. This could be you challenging Carlsberg for the lead right now, if you're quick enough. So Tidders right behind Carlsberg there. Robert Racing still keeping a gap back. Keyboard Captain a gap back as well. And we are a little bit spread out here. Tell you who's not spread out is Hawkeye Saint. Osnad's actually fallen back, so he must have had some dramas. I tell you what, we will just quickly rewind and see if we can find the source of those dramas. So he's here in 8th place, and he drops down to 11th, so something must happen. He's going through the chicane here. And he hits the curb, and then he gets spun round. He gets spun round by Frank. Frank's been in contact with quite a few people in this race, but I don't think that one was on Frank. Frankly speaking, Osnad had already spanned the car around there, and he was parked on the racing line. So Frank, you are absolved of any blame in my opinion. We've got Osnad then having to hold off now a battle that's been raging all race down at the back between Saint and Hawkeye. Hawkeye with yet another penalty. Our camera getting run over yet again. But Osnad unfortunately losing out there to Hawkeye. And let's see then, where were we? So we were watching Robert Tidders and Carlsberg. Let's just continue with Tidders and Carlsberg because they are at each other. And if it wasn't for this tyre mistake, I think Tidders has definitely got the potential here to be a race winner in URL. You never know, it might happen next race. I haven't seen the result yet. So I'm guessing that with the 1 minute penalty he will be starting near the back. But he is keeping himself right at the front here, right at the sharp end. Although Robert racing with the fastest lap, let's just comment on that. 2 seconds faster than Tidders' fastest lap, and about a full 1.2 clear of Carlsberg's. So Robert has some serious potential. He is flying, and that is actually, yes, more than a second clear of anyone else. That is a rapid Robert that we're seeing. So, and he's still setting purple sectors now. He might even be able to go even faster, and he's on the medium tyres as well, which makes this really impressive. Those medium tyres are about a second a lap slower, maybe even 2 seconds a lap slower than the softs. More penalties, except for Ninky. Ninky's not got a penalty, so Ninky could be doing well this lap. Now, if I was in Ninky's position here, I would just be content to follow Rufus and wait for the penalty to be applied. Unless, but he's not doing that. He's made a lunge. And he's, sorry for the surprise in my voice, but that I don't agree with, Ninky. I'm sorry. That was not necessary, and it didn't look very clean. That's why I'm saying that. I'm not here to have too strong an opinion, but this is far back. And this is last of the late breakers. Look at this. So Rufus is quite rightly turning in exactly where he should be turning in. But boom, there's a Ninky in the way, and he just goes, how do you like them apples? I'm coming through. Now, yeah, that's not what I like to see, especially because Rufus had a penalty. And now Rufus, obviously, he's not going to get back past Ninky anytime soon. This is the final lap, by the way. It's happened already. I can't believe how quickly we've got there. Tidders is holding off Carlsberg for what it's worth, and Carlsberg has a penalty, so I think his race is run. The question is, can Robert Racing catch Carlsberg with that penalty? He's setting another fastest lap here, or in the process of setting another fastest lap. So let's see, is he going to be able to chase down Carlsberg? Carlsberg has served his penalty now, and it looks like he's gaining. Keyboard captain there taking a penalty in the background, but he's not going to be close enough, I don't think. Robert, he could make a go for second place here. He's really made a great comeback after turn 1. Oh, and he sends it, but he doesn't have the overlap, so he backs out of it. Good racing there, good clean racing. He continues to pressure Carlsberg. He's still on for a fastest lap, even so. Let's see, can he get Carlsberg through the final corner? Well, he's a bit wide. He's having to cut back. Carlsberg doesn't run wide. If he had, that would also have gifted Robert the position by way of post-race penalties. But no, it looks like all Carlsberg has to do now is hold it. He has a go, but he's not close enough. Let's follow Tidders over the line. He will unfortunately be sent to the back for not using both compounds of tyre. He's over the line. Carlsberg in second, Robert in third, and the penalty's already been applied, actually. We see there Carlsberg in first now, Robert in second. Tidders, I think, will continue to fall down the order. So we've got Keyboard Captain bringing it home in a net third place, with Ninky directly behind, Rufus, then Hoyland, then Frank, and then who won the battle? So Saint won the battle against Hawkeye. That was going on all race in the background. Sorry I couldn't feature it more. That Logitech Racing Porsche. Osnard making a bit of a recovery, back up to 10th. I'm sure he'll be disappointed with that, because it looked like he was in the running throughout that, and all of the positions jumping up one there as Tidders unfortunately takes his penalty. And then in last place, some distance behind, we have Sid the Sloth, who seems to be sort of coasting. It doesn't look like he's using the full power of that car. Maybe there's some technical problem going on. Who knows? But I'm not sure. Actually, Sid might remain last even with Tidda's penalty, because the penalty is 1 minute long. Yeah, Sid having lots of troubles bringing the car home. So there we go. We have Carlsberg is our winner. Robert Racing, a brilliant move back through the field there. Brilliant journey back through the field to come second and take a fastest lap as well. Well done, Robert. And thank you also, Robert, for waiting when there was that turn 1 incident. We've got Keyboard Captain on the podium on his Manufacturers Series debut, with Ninky in a solid 4th place and Rufus in the sister Porsche directly behind him. Hoyland fell down the order a bit of a mixed race for him, followed by Frank, who had a lot of adventures, but I'm hoping he enjoyed his first time in URL, followed by Saint, Osnad, Hawkeye, and then Tidders. That has been our first race. I will be back shortly with the second race, which will have a reverse grid and the Group 3 cars. Remember to like and subscribe to my channel, Panic at the Tesco, and also check out Ultimate Racing League on Facebook. I've been your host, Panic at the Tesco, and I'll see you in the next one.